Hello and welcome again to the online series of learning IELTS with MS Education. Myself Disha Patel, and today I'll be starting with your lessons of true, false, not given and the yes, no, not given question types in the IELTS reading module test. Now, it is believed by many that it is most confusive or the difficult type of question in the IELTS reading test. But again, I'm going to differ over here, as you can solve this question by simply understanding the instructions of these questions. So, let us begin with today's lessons. In the true, false, not given and the yes, no, not given question types in the IELTS reading, it requires you to identify the information in a text which is true, false, or not given, or yes, no, and not given. You will be given a number of factual statements and you have to check the text to see if they are true or not, if they are yes or no, or they are not given at all. This is probably the most difficult question types in the reading papers. In today's video, we'll be learning at the common problems that are faced while answering these two question types and defining what is true, false, not given and the yes, no, not given. I'll be also giving you the tips and advice that are necessary to solve this question types. Also providing you with the strategy to use on the exam day. Now, in this video, whenever I refer to statements, I'm talking about the questions, not the text exactly, in the main reading passage. Moving on, as what are the common problems that are faced by the candidates while solving this particular question types? The biggest problem here is the not given option. The not given option confuses the candidate the most, as the word used are same and that are given in the passage. Most of the students are not used to answering these questions like this, as from the very start of our education, we have always answered true, false, or yes or no. We have never been given the option of not given. And it also causes them lots of problems because they are not so sure what to look for. They tend to spend too much of time making sure that it is not given or is it given, or contradicting the answers by writing no or false. And this affects the rest of their test marking too. Students here also fail to understand the exact what each statement means and therefore cannot identify if it is true or false. Many focuses only on the key words instead of understanding what the statement as a whole means. One needs to understand the statement when answering this particular question time. Another common mistake here is identifying the keywords in these statements and then try to find the words that exactly match them in the text or exactly mean the same in the given passage. You can do this, but more often the words will be synonyms. As I said, you have to find the exact meaning of the word or the key word in the text passage. Finally, some students also fail to understand exactly what the true, false, and not given, or the yes, no, and not given actually means, and get themselves confused. Here, you need to read the instructions very clearly. We will see firstly that what does the true, false, and not given means. The most important thing to remember here is what the words true means, what the word false means, and what actually the word not given means. Therefore, what IELTS wants you to write. Here, if the text passage agrees with or confirms the information in the statement, the answer is true. It means the statement is supposed to mean exactly as the statement in the passage. Now, if the text contradicts or is the opposite to the information in the statement, the answer is false. It does not match with the exact meaning of the statement in the passage. Thus, you get the answer as false. Now, the last one is not given, the most difficult choice. If there is no information or it is impossible to know the answer, then the answer is not given. The information in the statement does not match to the meaning of the statements in the passage, though the words might come same. That is, the key word in the question may be the same as the statements in the passage, but the information's meaning does not match, so the answer is not given. Now, let us have a look at the yes, no, not given question type and what does they mean. The statement agrees with the writer's statement, then the answer is yes. It means that the statement's meaning is the same as the writer's statement's meaning in the passage. When the answer is no, the statement contradicts with the writer's statement in the passage. It does not mean exactly the same, or the information is quite the opposite from the statement in the passage. Now, the not given option is the information is not found in the passage. If here the information is not found or is impossible to match the meaning of the statement, then the answer is not given. Moving on, true means that the meaning is the same, that is also the same with the yes. Now, yes also means the answer of the meaning is the same. It is just similar than it is false. That is, and no. The answers for false and no are the statements or the meaning of the statements are wrong. Though the words may be same, but the meanings are wrong. Remember that when we are dealing with the factual information, so there is no room to say it is similar or nearly similar to the statements in the passage. It needs to be exact same meaning, not quite similar or nearly similar. Here, lots of students have argued with me during the practice sessions in the offline classes and said the statement is true because it kind of means. Now, the word kind of means is not the same as exact same. There is no space and scope for the kind of meaning with these questions, only the facts. Now, here, very important, just because an answer is not given does not mean that there are no words in the statements that match the words in the text. That is the key words, as I said earlier. The keywords might match to the keywords in the passage and the statement. This is something that confuses most of the candidates. If the words match, then it must mean true or false or right or wrong or yes or no. Not really, actually. This is not a good way to think about these questions because there probably will be matching words for not given answer. They just don't have enough time and information to answer the question as a whole. After, as you have understood what are the true meanings of the true, false, not given, and the yes, no, not given, and also know what are the problems and what does they actually mean, we'll move on to the tips that are required to solve this particular question types. The first is ignore anything you already know about the topic and don't make any assumptions on the basis of your knowledge about the topic. Base your answers on the text only, that is, the factual answers that are actually correct. You should only base your answers on the factually correct text and ignore your knowledge that you know about the topic. Only accept that part of the knowledge where the answers means the same or contradict, that is false, and if the impossible match is there, that is the not given options. Secondly, identify any key words that qualify these statements, for example some, mainly, all, often, always, and occasionally. Now, these words are there to test if you have read the whole statement, because they can change the meaning of these statements, as paraphrasing at times changes the meaning of the statement by twisting the words. For example, Coca-Cola has always made its drinks in the United States of America has a different meaning from Coca-Cola has mainly made its drinks in the United States of America. Now, always and mainly have changed these statements' meaning completely. All the students must be careful when you see the verbs that qualify the statements such as suggest, claim, believe, and know. Take for example, the man claimed he was a British citizen and the man is a British citizen. It means two different things. Here, in one statement, it is said the man is claiming that he is or was a British citizen. But in the second statement, it is clearly said that the man is a British citizen. There is no need of claiming for anything, or he has not changed his citizenship rights. Moving on, there will be at least one of all three answers, that is yes, no, not given, or true, false, or not given. If you don't have at least one true, false, or not given, or the yes, no, or not given option, you have at least one answer wrong. Don't scheme and scan the text here to find the final answer. You will have to read the appropriate part of the text passage very carefully, as in order to understand what the author means. It is crucial for one to understand the statements of the author. One should not look for the exact key words and match those in the statements in the passage. You should also look for its synonyms. You should always remember that you are matching the meaning, not the words. Now, remember this statement very clearly in this tip. You have to remember the meaning and match the meaning, not the words. If you can't find the information you are looking for, then it is probably not given. If thus, it means you are not able to match the meaning of the statement with the statements in the passage. Thus, the answer is probably not given. Don't waste too much of time looking for something that is not there. If you have no idea what the answer is, then put up the answer as not given. It is a safe side. You probably have no idea because the answer is not there. You should not waste your time for the options that are not given in the passage. As you have already read the passage, you know each and every sentence and also have understood at least little of them. So if you think this statement is not given, then put up not given. Don't waste a lot of time for that particular question. Take a note over here again. as it also acts as a tip and advice. Answers are always in the same order as they appear in the text. Do not waste time going back and forth in the reading text passage. Just keep on reading. As you get one answer, keep on reading the next. You will get the rest of the answers in an order. Now make a note, as this is an advice, also a tip. The yes, no, not given questions may slightly differ, as at times they deal with the opinion and not the true meaning of the statement. They might deal with the writer's opinion. Make sure you understand that opinion. And the true false not given always deals with the facts. The factual statements means the exact same that are writers' points or statements. Let us move on to the strategies that are used in the true false not given questions and the yes no not given question types. Here, this is gonna be my personal suggestions, as these strategies have worked for me and most of my students. There are many different strategies, and you should always use the one that you feel comfortable with. I do not always suggest that you should use my strategies, but give it a try. You can also adapt these strategies to what suits you the best. Firstly, always read the instructions very carefully and understand, and also make sure you know if it is true, false, not given, or the yes, no, not given question. Be very sure to read the question and understand the instructions very carefully, as I have also seen some candidates make mistakes. If the question is true, false, not given, they write yes, no, not given questions and answer to it. Now, to me, this strategy is one of the most important strategy, as one should always read these statements very carefully and also try to understand what the whole sentence means rather than simply highlighting the keywords. Here, all the candidates should watch out for the qualifying words such as some or always. You should always understand the words and the complete sentence with its synonyms and paraphrased statements. Also, know what is the meaning of the sentence. You should match the meaning of the sentence in the passage, not by highlighting the keywords simply and matching those words. Try to think of what synonyms might be in the text passage that are given by the author. This will definitely help you to identify the matching part of the text. Also, the synonyms will help you to find the answer in the text passage and match the answers if the information given means exact same, or is contradicting, or not given, or does not mean the same. Then match these statements with the correct part of the text passage. Make sure you are matching the statement with the correct part of the text passage, as it might lead you to complicate things by the key words. You should focus only on the meaning and the opinionated meaning, or the facts that match the same. Moving on, focus on these statements again and then carefully read and match the part of the text to establish the accurate answer. If it is true, if it is yes, if it is false, or if it is no, or the answer is not given. Remember that the meaning should be exactly same to the statement in the passage. So the answer can be true or yes. If it is contradicting meaning, then no or false is the answer. And not given if the information does not match. Underline the words that give you the answer in the passage or in the questions. Find the words, the same ones in the passage that will help you to focus and know and check back later the answers. Now, again, you have to be very careful. There are no qualifying words in the text, only qualifying meaning. If you can't find the answer, mark it as not given, as it tends to be a safe play, and move on to the next question. If you are really unsure or can't find the answers, mark it as not given. Marking it as not given will not give you negative answer, but at least you have tried attempting it. It just shows that your trial of attempt. All right, now these were the end of the strategies that are to be given and used from my side to solve this question types. Moving on, now let us read the passages and also read the instructions for each question and also discuss the answers accordingly. Before we discuss the answers further, let us discuss what the question is. Do the following statements and agree with the information given in the reading passage. In the boxes on your answer sheet, write true if the statement agrees with the information, false if the statement contradicts with the information, and not given if there is no information on this particular statement. We are seeing that the instructions are very clearly given to us. In all the reading IELTS test, if this kind of particular questions are asked, the instructions like this will be given beforehand in the question paper. Now, let us discuss the answers. The first answer is false. FALSE. It is given in the first paragraph that tells us that the July 1 was the hottest day in the UK and some other countries. Africa had the second warmest July. Thus, it does not match exactly, but it contradicts the information in the question with the statement in the passage. So, the answer is false. The second answer is true. It is clearly said in the second paragraph that we can read as the impact is increased levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is a key driver of rising temperatures. So, the statement is true. It actually agrees with the information in the passage. The third answer is also true. It will be said in the third paragraph that experts believe that 2015 will be the warmest year. So, 2015 may be the hottest year ever. So, the answer number 3 is true. The fourth answer here is not given, as there is no information about these C's in the text. The fifth answer is true. It is clearly said in the final paragraph that Peter Stott said that there is the potential to see some very warm months throughout this year, which means that there will be probably be many hot months in 2015. With this, we have come to the end of this video. I hope that the true false not given and the yes no not given question type are clear. Also, I hope that you have understood what are the common problems, the tips and advices, and the notes and the strategies to solve this particular question types in the IELTS reading module test. Thank you so much.